G'day everyone, welcome back to Football Manager 18. We're looking at Central Coast Mariners and we're looking at how we build a formation or what formation we're going to use, at least to get started. I figure it'll be a work in progress throughout the season. As you can see at the top of some of these pages, we have 103 days till we play our first competitive fixture. So we have plenty of time to get some training in and get on top of this. One thing that needs to be said before we get too far into this is that we're playing with the winter database, and I tend to find that as opposed to summer, European summer I should say, a lot of the squads in the game are really fixed at this point. So they've sort of had the summer transfer window, and then any sort of loans or any extra free signings or anyone they've used to pick up and fill the gaps, they're already included in winter. And so the possibility for changing your side around this early in the game, it's kind of limited. Like, you can do it if you really want to, but I tend to not do as much for the winter database starts. It doesn't mean we won't try and find some players for Central Coast in this playthrough, because we're trying to make it interesting and the club could really do with a couple of new names. But it's hard, just every squad's sort of locked. There's not a lot of free agents lying around, they've been picked up, and every squad's kind of full because by the end of January they're usually quite full up. So in terms of what we have is what we're going to play with. In terms of what we actually have as players, it's quite an interesting defensive lock. I know that Central Coast have had trouble scoring in the past. I can see that's going to be an issue for us. We don't have any sort of senior out-and-out strikers. We have a couple, but they're not world beaters, and so we're going to play this sort of really defensive tiered structure, and it's going to revolve around our three central players in midfield. If it goes back to the screen for a sec, you can see McGing is one of our guys there, Brahma is another one, Hiraj, I need to see his name, I forget how to pronounce it. So they're going to form a bit of a defensive unit and in midfield, and then we're going to try and tuck back in and push the wingers up and get around. So we're just reading through some of the specifics of the roles, because obviously you can't just sit 7 men behind the ball and expect the front 3 youngsters to do the job for you. So we're just trying to find roles that encourage our players to move up the field. I think I was looking at Brahma as a defensive midfield regista. It's, I don't know, it's some European phrase. I'd never heard it until Football Manager told me it. And that's supposed to be like a roaming, not a box-to-box kind of player, but someone who roams forward and is a bit of a playmaker, and he should sit in behind the attacking midfielders that we've got. In terms of not playing wingers, we have wingers, but we just don't have any. I don't think they're quite A-League quality wingers just yet. Someone like Hool is a bit of a hit or miss. He will do some amazing things, and he will then have a lot of time where he's not, so we're going to try and find a different way to use him. Boaja is up front. He's kind of a attacking winger slash striker, but I want to use him as a front man. He's only a youngster though, so I'm not sure if he's going to be our main striker all season. He's just holding that space for now to give us an idea of what the team will look like when we build it. As you can see, I'm just tweaking all the specific roles. I sort of want us to play long passes, obviously, to link the two, but I don't want everyone on our team that license. We're trying to see, we're saying direct passing. We need to get it forward and then push players up. You know, we want our front 3, because there's actually 3 kind of advanced players there to eat up some of the space and get the ball. We're going to play it pretty quickly to them and then get the other players to build up. But we also want to make sure that we don't just hit long passes blindly and expect them to chase them. So we're going to make a couple of abbreviations on the pitch here. We're going to push our wide men up even further and play a 3rd defender. It's just because we have a few good defenders, and I like this kind of idea in the sense that you leave all the defending duties to the defenders and really press players forward. It looks defensive, but it actually ends up quite offensive, this lineup. For now, we're just playing with ideas. We might go back and change things around. Anyway, you've seen me sort of waffling about the formation while it's been going on. If you want to have a better look at what exactly we're doing, yeah, just go back and have a bit of a rewatch. Haven't really got that much interesting to say. Hopefully I can talk to it better when it's actually out on the field, and I can say, hey, remember when we talked about this? This is how it all plays out. Look at this on the screen. FM does kind of do that alright. Anyway, that's all I've really got to add at this point, and thanks a lot for your time, and I don't know where we're going next, but I'll see you next time. Cheers.